All right, yo, what is up, everybody? It's Gary here for the Journey to Success podcast. Today we got Steven Van. He is a dope content creator. He has over 100,000 YouTube subscribers and millions in views in his YouTube channels. He does photography tutorials and does tutorials just for creators out there who are trying to step up their game in the creative space. Say what's up, Steven.
Hey man, appreciate you bringing me on here. I haven't done a podcast for like a while. I need to step up for my YouTube stuff too as well. I need to start posting again, but it's a good start. I'm gonna start making videos and stuff again now. I took this opportunity because I feel like I want to do more of this creative stuff again and get into it because I've been kind of behind the scenes doing stuff like doing video shoots and stuff like that. But I want to start making content again. So just thank you for slight bit of motivation and yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I listened to your Vancast and
Yeah.
I definitely took a couple of your tutorials for sure. So you help out a lot.
Yeah, man.
Definitely a dope creative in a space. And tell everybody, if you don't mind, like how old you are. You're killing it.
I just turned 17 at the beginning of this month. So I'm in grade 12. It's my last year. Still thinking about like what I'm gonna do for my career and if I'm going to university or college or whatever. I'm still figuring it out like everyone else.
Right.
I'm just piecing things together right now. But yeah, still young. Still got a lot of time to go. So yeah.
Dope, man. That's dope. Like, just tell us like how you got into the creative space.
So unlike a lot of people who create YouTube channels, I started without watching a lot of channels. Like I didn't really have a lot of inspiration to start it. It sort of just seemed very interesting. And one day I started just posting videos. I know a lot of people used to watch like Smosh and Ryan Higa and like all these old YouTubers. And I never really did that. I like the moment I started my YouTube channel was around the time where I just started watching YouTube videos. I wasn't really on that. So I always think about that and how I sort of just created it because it was kind of fun for me. I didn't really take any inspiration from other people. I actually saw this guy, one of this guy's YouTube channels. He lived near me and he was around my age. And I saw what he was doing. And at the time he had like 10,000 subscribers. And I was like, I could do the same thing, if I really put in effort. So I did that. I had to learn how to make, thumbnails and edit videos and all that sort of stuff. So just doing that and making videos itself made me very, very creative. I had to learn how to do stuff by myself. So I would search up YouTube tutorials like the ones I make right now. And later that transitioned to photography because I had a camera, I had all that. I was doing video and stuff like that. And so I sort of wanted to do photo. And now basically what I do is I shoot concerts, events. My main source of income.
Photos are sick.
Yeah, thank you, bro. My main source of income now is off of YouTube. It used to be mainly YouTube. Now it's just like the events I shoot and stuff like that. So I kind of got into this space because first of all, I was never good at like drawing and that sort of art. I was always on the computer and stuff like that, but I knew I was creative and I think I found the right outlet for me. I definitely can't be a singer or like a rapper or something like that. So I think digital like art is really what I'm at. Like what that sort of space is what I kind of fell into. So it wasn't like, oh, I've been doing this for a long time and I just want to pursue this as a career. It sort of just happened. And progressively, I just got into different interests. Like I started with graphic design tutorials, went to video editing, photography.
One of those videos blew up. The Photoshop one got like 1 million views.
Yeah, so I have like 2 videos with 1 million views now. And I think the main reason before I used to think, I can build this audience, and the main reason I was uploading videos was to build the audience. But now I've realized that I don't have to, get 1 million of views and stuff like that. I'd rather impact, people to a greater degree than reach people and have them watch my videos once. Like I've been getting DMs and stuff like that from random people saying, oh, your videos really help and stuff like that. And I'd rather have that than have millions of views and no one, really be impacted by my videos. And it kind of makes me want to go back to making videos again because it's like, I make so much impact to these people. And, coming up, I was always trying to find people like me who's doing the same thing as I do. I try to help as many people as I can, reply to DMs, do podcasts and stuff like that. And it's kind of hurting me because I'm not making videos as much now. And when people are talking about my YouTube channel, it's like, I wish I was making more of those videos now. So,
the balance, man. It's the balance.
It's super hard. Like this past year and a half, maybe I've been just trying to go out and do stuff, and it hasn't really left me a lot of time to just chill. Like I have this desk right here where I used to make my YouTube videos, and I haven't sat down here for like 5 months. Like,
wow,
like, real talk. Like I used to have like a camera here, stuff like that, and it's just so hard for me to make videos now.
Yeah. The crazy thing though is when you take a break from that and then you get back into it, it's like you're starting all over again. It's like back to the grind. It feels like it's fun, like just how you started out, like that spark. You come back again, and then we just like doing it. It's like you kind of take it for granted. Yeah,
it's super hard, especially to keep it consistent. I used to make like 3 videos a week, and I haven't uploaded a video in probably three weeks. So wow. I'm trying to get into it again, and just really like, I think at some point I stopped making content that would just get views, and I started making content that I would be interested in and stuff I just learned myself. And at that point, I think the views went down, and maybe that demotivated me a bit, but I think they're easier to make those type of videos, and you're actually interested, and you get an audience that you actually like. Like I used to make how to grow your channel videos, and a bunch of like little kids would come up and subscribe to me, and it wouldn't really like I like making the videos and stuff like that, but it wasn't really me. I was just trying to make videos that would get views, and that didn't really help me. And so I would have to keep this persona or keep making videos that I didn't really enjoy making. But then I started making videos on like photography and stuff like that, stuff that I really enjoyed, and that helped me out a bit. And I think that's what I'm gonna continue doing.
Definitely, man. Follow your passion.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's like just a little backstory. Like I kind of do work with drama. Like the guy from Fantasy Factory and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's like trying to do like motivational speaking now, and it's like he's known as the Rob's little brother who used to get just joked on and pranked on and all that stuff. But now he's trying to do like motivational content and little Instagram clips, and it's like, what are you doing? Like you're supposed to be doing this. So I just kind of see how you feel like if we wanted to create your own content. That way.
And like there's been a decrease in views and all that sort of stuff, but at this point, I'm treating YouTube as a platform where I just post stuff I like similar to Instagram. Like when people were talking about demonetization, and you had to reach this certain amount of views and subscribers or watch time to get paid, I was thinking like people still use Instagram and Twitter and post consistently on there without getting paid. I still see the benefits of it. Like I'm doing Instagram, I'm doing photo shoots and going to these events that sometimes I don't get paid for in order to get content for Instagram and those platforms, and I don't get paid for any of it. So I'm sort of treating the YouTube the same way, and in the way that I'm just trying to build content, gain an audience, and just help them out. Like, cause I already do this stuff, and I know a lot of people aspire to like what I do and like shoot concerts and events and stuff like that. Yeah. So I just want to help people reach the same points, Yeah.
Can you speak on like just working for free, and like it's so important to work for free, but it's also important to charge, but working for free opens a lot of doors.
Yeah, like I started I've been doing my stuff like for probably almost 4 years now. And like the only way I got in front of people is literally, doing free work. Like people get like, for me personally, I'm not that big. I'm not like famous, or I don't have like 1 million subscribers or anything like that. But people who do, they get way more emails than I do, and I can't reply to like most of my emails. They get emails and DMs, like hundreds and thousands of DMs. The only way you're gonna attract attention from them is if you provide something to them. And if that is like, if there's probably like millions of people just like messaging people, oh, you want to do a photo shoot with me? It's gonna be like $60 or something. If you say free, and like the first thing you say is like what you're gonna provide for them, it's gonna stand out so much more. Like I did this photo shoot for free with this girl. She's from Toronto. She has like 1 million subscribers. I think her name's Helen Nicholson. So I did stuff for her, free photo shoot. I think someone tagged me in one of her posts like, oh, you should do a photo shoot with him. I said, oh, I'll do a free shoot with you. later on, that led to me recording some of her videos. She hit me up for that,
Dope.
and that was paid, right? My manager, who I actually contacted him, offering to do free work for him because I knew he had the right connections and he had access to people and events that I didn't have, and I offered to do
Yep.
free work. He still paid me though, like he eventually paid me, and like a lot of people, they will just like really just to get in front of everybody and be differentiate yourself, you gotta do free work. I know I've learned at some point you gotta charge and stuff like that. But if you're trying to build a portfolio and get in front of people's faces and get access to these events and like just connect with people, you gotta do free work. I do free work all the time. Most of the concerts I shoot's free. And it's just for me, when I go to these concerts, yes, I'm not getting paid and have to take time to travel there and shoot and edit and all that sort of stuff. I meet so many photographers there. It's crazy. And all those guys get paid. Right, most of them get paid, and so I'm connected to people who I aspire to be. I know the managers of people, media publications, blogs, radio stations, everyone who are covering the event as well. I may reach an artist directly or their manager or their team, and like Tiana Taylor, she posted my photo, and what that means is like, yes, I don't get paid off the photo, but it just means there's more attention to me because someone on her team or her directly has seen my photo and she's seen my work, right?
You gotta have like that social currency, like not necessarily getting paid in dollars, but you have like a reputation, like as someone who's credible,
Yeah. So for me, people see, I shoot a bunch of concerts. They don't know I don't get paid for it. Imagine there's an upcoming artist. They see my stuff. They're like, "Oh, this guy's professional. He's been shooting a bunch of artists." Right? That's what it comes down to. It's not like, "Oh, I don't get paid for this, I shouldn't do it." It's like when it's time for you it's time for you to get paid, you'll have something to show for. Like if I didn't do concerts and if I wanted to shoot directly with an artist, they're an upcoming artist, right? And I want to work for them. If I didn't do any of this work, sure, I have the skill set to do it, but they don't know I have the skill set to do it. Right? Like, I think same thing with like, if you think about going to school and getting a degree, there is an advantage to it. People know that you have the skills because of the degree, right? When you don't have a portfolio or anything to show for, no one's going to hire you because they don't know what you can do.
Right.
So that's kind of what I think about it. For everything I do, I always try to see there's always something good with it. Like every single bad situation I've ever had, if I look back to it, it's some way benefited me. Like every single failure or whatever. Like I do so much free stuff, it's crazy. I do more free stuff than people who are just coming up. And if that doesn't say anything, like that's, like I think about Drake, right? So Drake's biggest artist, he's collaborating with everybody. Right? He's collaborating with everybody. If you're a small artist and you're trying to get as big as Drake and you're not collaborating as much as he is, how do you expect to get to his level? Like same thing with just practicing. If you're a amateur athlete, right? You're trying to become pro. How do you expect to become pro if the pros are training like pros, but you're still training like an amateur? You're never gonna catch up to the person who's ahead of you if you're not doing the same thing or more than them.
Bars.
Right? Like just real, just that's just real. So if I'm doing free work and you're coming up and you don't want to do it because your ego's too big or you don't think it's gonna help you, then you gotta like fix up. Like I'm just like just honestly, I know so many people just do free work. Like I know some of the biggest concert photographers, they'll do free work because they know the importance of just putting your work out there and having people see it. Like you don't have to have the biggest Instagram account. Like pretend you go to a concert and you get maybe 5 likes on your concert photos. It doesn't matter how many likes you get. If you just reach that one person, that's all you need. Like you can have one viewer on your video, but if that viewer is like Drake's manager, like you know what I'm saying? It doesn't.
That's all it takes.
Like actually like. So I value like I don't put so much of a significance on numbers anymore and views. It just for me, it's just depth. It's not. I don't care if I have 100,000 subscribers. I'd rather have 50,000 and have a much deeper audience who messages me for advice and stuff like that than people who just watch my videos once in a while. Just honestly, like I just learned so much stuff in the past couple of years. It's crazy, and I'm still figuring out. It's not like I know everything. I really don't. I'm sort of just like going with the flow. And if an opportunity presents itself, I'm ready for it. Like I think that's important. Just put yourself through as much stuff as you can, so that when the opportunity does come, you'll be ready for it. It's better to do that and not be prepared. Yeah, man, it's
Awesome.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's really crazy, man.
It's like once you like put enough free work, you kind of get into their circle of
Yeah,
influence, and then they'll treat you well and treat you like family.
honestly, yeah.
So like, what do you have planned for you coming back creatively? Like, what's some creative ideas that you have? Because I know you've been to Shanghai, you've been traveling all these places, and you've been posting vlogs and cinematic videos. So like, what more do you want to do creatively that fulfills you?
I gotta definitely make more videos while I'm on those trips because I feel like they'd be super valuable. Like I make videos for me. Like when I went to Shanghai, I made a vlog sort of thingy for a model who was there, and so the reason I was there is for the model. She wanted to make a YouTube video. So for that type of stuff, I would like to just have a sort of behind the scenes look of it because it with me going to Shanghai, it was just work. Like I didn't
Yeah,
have time. I just want people to know how not how tough it really is, but how it really is. Like how it isn't just like, oh, I'm traveling and I'm having fun all the time. It's really not it. Like I'll have fun and stuff like that, but most of it's work. I just want to show people like how it really is and just behind the scenes of all the stuff. So like I want to go on video shoots, just have someone shoot behind the scenes and me talk for a little bit about like what's going on because there's a lot of people aspiring to be photographers and videographers, creative people, and I just want to show sort of the behind the scenes and how it really is because it's always something flashy. Like I see a lot of people just like a lot of directors and stuff like that, they'll just show kind of like the flashy stuff, and in general like travel YouTubers, they're just like they're just traveling. But I've been around people who make travel videos and 99% of their trip is just like capturing stuff for the video. Like it's not as easy as it seems. And I see people in the comments of like Sam Calder's videos like, yo, you have the dream job, but he doesn't know that there's like 5 other people with him and they're all shooting content, and then they have to edit for a couple months while they're on the road. By the way, like they're constantly traveling and that gets tiring. But I also wanted people to know that like even though these things happen, I still like appreciate all the opportunities coming, and I'm like blessed and stuff like that.
definitely.
So really just behind the scenes, I just want to help as many people as possible because it's just, first of all, helping people makes me feel good. But also it's like, I want to build with these people. Like there's a couple, like I got one of my boys, one of my boys, he was at the Roy Woods show, and I got him backstage, and now he had content that he otherwise would not have if he didn't know me. And I just want to help that. And like what happens when he like if he becomes like a super big photographer and he starts shooting for like The Weeknd or like some other big artist, right?
Yeah.
It comes full circle, and I just want to help people because I want to see everyone like accomplish big things. And I just want to help other people because from what I see, there's so many opportunities out there. There's enough for like everybody. Like there's so much opportunity. I haven't grasped any of it really. Like I'm still just starting out.
Thanks.
So for me, the aim of my YouTube channel, like all the content I put out, is to inspire and to like help people out. Like if anyone DMs me, I'm gonna answer it, unless it's like a really stupid question or something like that. But I know a lot of photographers, they don't want to tell people like where this location is where they took this picture. They're like, oh, go explore and you'll find it. I know a lot of like when I started like getting into photography, I would ask people, oh, what rooftop is this, or what location is this, and they wouldn't tell me. Or what gear do you use? Like people get annoyed. Like a lot of photographers get annoyed by this question, but like I don't get why. Like we're all starting out, we're all trying to figure it out. So
what's the song?
Yeah. Like honestly, with songs and stuff like that, I just make the video and I just delete the songs after. I don't really remember the songs. It's from some website. But if someone asking for my gear, or they're interested in buying something, or they want to know where I shot this at, I'm gonna tell them. I'm not like, there's no point of hiding. Like it's so much better to collaborate than like compete with people. Like you get so much more done. Like honestly, yeah.
what is one tip you have for? Okay, you're talking to younger Steven, and you just want to tell him something that you currently know to your future self.
I think one thing I've learned, like, and it's kind of be getting more evident, like as I go on, is like people do business with their friends, like, or people they like, not necessarily their friends. There's a lot of people that, sure, they're super talented and their work's amazing, but if they don't, if no one really like messes with you like that, and they don't have fun being around you, they're not gonna hire you. Like a lot of these photographers, like Drake's photographers and stuff like that, and they're their friends. They grew up with them, or they met them somewhere along the road, and they just really mess with them, and they're good people. Like I work with this guy. He plays in the MLS for Toronto FC, soccer player. There's a bunch of photographers that would hit him up and do hit him up, but because he likes me, he'll work with me. It just like, honestly, like whenever I'm thinking about, oh, who should I hire for behind the scenes on the shoot, or who should I hire to help me shoot this event or this wedding or whatever, I'm thinking of my friends, because it's easier to work with them. I have more fun working with them. Sure, there's some other talented person, but it's just like, it's so much easier to reach this person. Like there's so many benefits to having to work with friends and people you like the supermodel I worked with and who brought me to Shanghai. She's a model. You know how many photographers she knows, or how many videographers she knows? She knows a bunch.
Crazy,
right? But because she likes me, like, and I haven't known her for a long time. That Shanghai, when she brought me to Shanghai, she only knew me for probably a couple weeks. Like she seen me here and there, like maybe twice, 2 or 3 times, and then we had a little meeting. But before that, she didn't really talk to me a lot. But during the time we did talk, she did like me, and you know how like she's been getting photographed since like 14. You know, like she knows photographers, and my work is not the best. She's with like high-end photographers at LA and stuff like that, right? But she messes with me. She likes me as a person. Like
that's a big gem, right?
That's really it. That's really it. Like it's just people do business with people who they like. Like I know my manager. He knows a lot of photographers. He told me this. He actually was talking to me about how this exact same thing probably a couple months ago. He knows a lot of people who, and I'm very replaceable. You're always replaceable. Like with these bigger people with high budgets, you're replaceable. It's very easy to get another person who's just as talented. But if they mess with you like that, you'll stay with them. Drake's whole team is his friends. Like literally his whole team is his friends.
A circle.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's probably my biggest tip. There's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of tips, but if you want to know like how to get connected and how to get into this whole thing, it's just really be a good person, you know, like help people out. Just be a good person and try to improve your work, and you'll get somewhere.
Awesome. Okay, one last question. So during your journey, like at times like when you feel like you're like, I think because the internet is grateful, like we can do these podcasts and things and listen to the information, but like who do you listen to for inspiration or for just creative advice so you can better help yourself?
So for me, I just like everything I do, I pay attention to. Like very like I'm just really interested in like human nature. Like just normal day stuff, like watching a show or watching a movie, or like today. So for example, today we had like a university fair. Like there's universities coming out of school and like they talk about stuff. Like literally, I don't know if I'm weird, but I was just paying attention to where most people went and why they went there. Like, is the presentation at this university spot like somehow more interesting? I was like paying attention to like the design of their thing. Like I'm sort of weird like that. When I watch TV shows and movies, I pay attention to like, why do people like this show? Why do people like these movies? Like, it's not so much like, oh, I watched this YouTuber and it helps me inspire me. Like, sure, it does, but just seeing just everyday stuff really inspires me. Like, you don't have to be more successful than me or anything like that. I find inspiration within like a lot of stuff, like my friends, because every unique every person has like a unique experience, and you kind of gain inspiration from all that. So I don't value my opinion over someone else's and all that sort of stuff, because I know people look at things differently. But I just really try to pay attention to detail and all that sort of stuff. So when there's a show and I like it, I try to understand why I like it. Like I look at the pacing of the show, stuff like that. It comes really like, subconsciously. I don't really think about it that much. But I sort of like music too. Like I always wonder like, yo, why do people mess with this music? Why do people like it? For Drake, like stuff like that. Like I just wonder like, yo, why do people like Drake? And then I just realized it's just his music's easy to like digest. Like it's not so overcomplicated. And it's actually his birthday or something right now.
Today, really?
Yeah, I think it's his birthday, or is it yesterday, something like that. But
October.
I think it's October 24th. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like really, I just pay attention to a lot of stuff. I try to put pieces together like every single day. Out of the blue, I just like a flip switches in my head. Like, oh, now I get it. Because I just sort of like I just see everything. I talk to a lot of people. I'm sort of like in it. Like I'm on social media. I know what people in my school are interested in. I know what people outside my school. I know like I talk to my parents a lot, so then I know what they're thinking. Like I get a lot of information by just talking to people, doing it, like just going to events. I get inspiration from that. Like I get knowledge from just being around things, being in the culture, being in like the middle of all of it. I think a lot of people just observe, try to like take notes by just watching like interviews and documentaries. Just they're not doing it. Once you do it, you'll mess up and you'll fail, but you learn from it. Every time I fail now, it's crazy, because I always when I used to fail, I used to just like think about like the downsides, like, oh, I lost money or like I wasted all my time. But now when I fail, I only think about what the positive outcome is. So I had a workshop, and the flyer that I sent out to people had the wrong date on it, right? And so I wasn't really prepared for that, because when I did get to the venue and I was supposed to, meet a bunch of people, no one, like 3 people like came, and because the flyer had the wrong date on it. And we also couldn't set up like stuff in time and properly. And so now when when I host my next event, I know what to improve on. I know I should get there a day early and make sure everything's right. I know I should make sure if the marketing and all that's ready. Like, there's just certain things that people let the failures bring them too down. And now I just try to learn from everything. And I think the reason I am successful in what I do is because I don't stop once something's not going right. I just try to work through it. And that's how most of the stuff I learned. Like, you don't know how much I've failed and how many emails I've sent, got no response. Like, you don't know. Like, I don't think anyone knows. Like, at one point in my life, I was sending out like 100 emails at 7 a.m. every single day for like 5 months. Like real, like I need to get back to that. Honestly, like I don't do that as much, but I do other stuff now. I go to events and stuff like that. I shoot. I have a podcast coming. Like I'm doing another podcast in probably like 30 minutes. Then I gotta go. I gotta go to the mall. There's a meet and greet with this MLB player. I'm taking pictures. That's gonna be free. He doesn't even know me. Then I'm gonna go to my friend's house. We're gonna do some math. Finish up like other client work. Like there's a lot to it, and I'm constantly thinking of stuff. Like it's nonstop for me, and I enjoy it all. Like like
awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Steven, for being on the podcast. You definitely dropped a lot of gems, and I appreciate it. So where can people find you at and view your content?
So I don't have my Steven Van username because everywhere it's taken, but for Instagram and Twitter, it's Steven Van _. And YouTube, it's youtube.com/Steven Van. If you want to DM me, message me, email me, whatever, feel free to. I'll respond. Just don't ask me for a shout out or anything like that, or ask for money, or then I'll respond. But yeah, just search up Steven Van anywhere, it should pop up. But yeah, I appreciate you bringing me on this podcast. You're gonna help. This is the start of my like YouTube videos coming back, like in the start of my content coming back, because recently I've been only posting on like Instagram and Twitter. Like now,
dude, your photos are sick. The concert photos, just you perfected it. Like
thank you, man.
I appreciate this a ton. Like you drop a lot of knowledge. Like you really like grounded in reality and like just like observe your like surrounding. I think that's huge.
Yeah, man.
That's really dope. And I think I took away some things from this interview as well. I appreciate it a ton. Like
no problem, man. Bro, I'm just like you. Like I don't